I feel like I'm gonna be wearing this sweatshirt for like 10 videos in a row, but like it's comfy, and I promise I'm changing the shirt that I wear underneath each day. Hello everybody, my name is Danny, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this video where I will be talking about my favorite reads of the year. Now I had some phenomenal reads this year, not so much lately. December has been a bit of a dud. My boyfriend has dubbed it DNF December because I've DNF'd 3 books, and that is a lot for me in 1 month, but earlier in the year, I've had some fantastic reads, and I want to talk about some of them. I have 10 things that I want to talk about, 3 manga, and 7 books. So, without any further ado, why don't we start talking about them? So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Weathering with You. The story is by Makoto Shinkai, and the art is by Wataru Kubota. This is based on a movie. It was a very popular movie when it came out. I still have yet to watch it, but I really want to. This was actually the first thing that I read in 2022. I read it on January 1st. It's 3 volumes, I own all of them, and it was so cute and very fun. It follows a runaway boy who meets a girl with weather magic powers, and I just love the characters so much. I promise we'll get to the movie soon. Then we have Hell's Paradise by Yuji Kaku, and this is my favorite manga of all time now. Like, you know me, I usually don't say like ultimate favorite things, but like this is definitely it. The second and third spots are close, but like this is my favorite ever. It has fantastic world building, an amazing ensemble cast. I love a good ensemble cast. And it's basically a Suicide Squad-esque story where a bunch of criminals who are on death row are sent to this magical island to retrieve the elixir of life, and these members of this clan that work as executioners go with them to make sure they actually like do stuff there and like don't just run off, and things get crazy. The art style is beautiful. This is being adapted into an anime, and it's supposed to come out sometime in the first half of 2023, so I cannot wait for that. Following up with what is now my second favorite manga of all time, we have Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. I don't know why I forgot his name. I definitely knew that without looking at the cover. But this follows Denji, a 16-year-old boy who has lived a very hard life, and he ends up merging with this chainsaw devil to become the Chainsaw Man. It's so goofy and silly. Like, Denji's whole motivation, there's a really loud car going by, his whole motivation is that he wants to touch boobs like any horny teenage boy would, and it's so silly but also extremely profound and like blew me away. And this is currently being adapted into an anime. There's I think 3 more episodes left to air at the time of me filming this. It's so good. The best anime opening song of all time. No contest. Moving into my favorite novels that I've read this year. First up, we are going to talk about The Uninvited by Kat Winters. This is the second Kat Winters book that I've read. I read In the Shadow of Blackbirds in 2021, and I just thought it was okay, and so I unhauled it. It wasn't too great. This one was going much the same way until about 3/4 in. There was this like twist that like, holy crap, blew my mind, and I want to compare it to a twist in a very famous movie, but if I do that, it will spoil this book, and so I'm not going to. But if you read this book, then when you get to that twist, you'll know exactly which movie I'm talking about. But this is a historical paranormal book about a girl who sees ghosts, and it takes place during the Spanish flu outbreak in the wake of World War I just ending. And I normally don't do well with historical, but I feel like I've been getting into it quite a bit lately, so maybe it's a genre I like more than I thought I did. Next, we have Break the Bodies, Haunt the Bones by Micah Dean Hicks, one of the most gorgeous covers that I've ever seen, and also one of the most bizarre books I've ever read. It's wild. It's about ghosts, but like there's way more than that going on, and it deals with industrialization and generational trauma. Things just get crazy. Like, it's wild. And I read this book while also listening to the audiobook at the same time, and it's only like this, I think it was like the second time I'd ever done that, and it really cemented the idea that I like doing both formats at once. So that's pretty nice. Next, I want to talk about The Mite by Siri Petterson. This chunker is the third book in the Raven Rings trilogy. It is Norse-inspired portal fantasy, and this is by far the best book in the trilogy, which is really saying something because the first two are fantastic. I was recommended this book by, well, the series by Stieg, and at first Wallace and I were buddy reading Odin's Child, and she really wasn't liking it, but like I had a fantastic time and then ended up picking up the other two. And she has a book coming out in, I believe, February of 2023 that takes place in the same world as The Raven Rings, but is a new series set like hundreds of years later or something, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Then we come to The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones, another gorgeous cover. I feel like I've read so many books with fantastic covers this year. But yes, this is marketed as being set in the same world as The Bone Houses, which is my favorite book. Like, I love it so much. And it's really a prequel. Like, I don't know why they just call it a prequel, but whatever. This follows a girl with weather magic. I'm sensing a theme. Well, it's less weather and more like water in general in this one than with Weathering with You. Yes, but it's a magical heist, and I love heist books and movies, but I definitely read more books than I watch movies. Yeah, I love heists, and Emily Lloyd Jones just has a fantastic writing style, and I will buy anything that she puts out, especially if it's set in this same world. The next book that I want to talk about is Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This is a classic that I cannot believe I hadn't read sooner. Like, it's fantastic. I mean, all of the books I'm talking about in this video are fantastic, but like, this is so good, and I was so nervous to read it, but like, I absolutely adore this book. It follows a black woman who is repeatedly sent back in time to save the life of her white ancestor, and it has one of the best first lines I've ever read in a book. Let me just read this out to you. Oh, it's slipping out of the dust jacket. The opening line is, "I lost an arm on my last trip home, my left arm, and if that doesn't make you want to find out what is going on, I don't know what does." It instantly had me hooked. Then we come to Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper, and this is a very cute book. It's not all my like normal genre range. It is a sapphic small town romance, but with witches, and there are magic trials that take place, and it was just very wholesome and adorable and made me feel really warm inside, and I'm very excited to pick up the other two books in this trilogy. They follow different couples, but like with people that we've met in this book, and the love interest in the third book is non-binary, so we know I'm here for that. We love the queer rep. I mean, this one is sapphic, so we've had queer rep since the beginning, but like, it was so good. And finally, we cannot have this video without talking about The Nine Eyes of Lucian by Madeline Rue, the second book to come from Critical Role. This follows Lucian, and I have been running a readathon inspired by this book for the past 2 months. It started at the beginning of November, technically the last 2 days of October, and runs till the end of the year. And I've had such a good time running that. I had a lovely chat with Wallace and Jen about this book just the other day. We had it, and I will link that live stream down below because it was just a really, really good time. And this has so many of my favorite tropes and story elements that I just love in books. So like, this is truly one of the best books I've read ever, probably. Not even just in this year. I love this book so much. So those are all of the books that I wanted to talk about in this video, my favorite things that I have read this year. They're now precariously stacked on my desk, so I'm gonna hurry up and end this. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what your favorite reads of the year were, so I can have some recommendations of what to check out next year. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.